Hi guys, what is up? It's Jack Scott Lee, and today I'm looking at a synastry chart for Machine Gun Kelly, which is Colson, and he is in a entanglement is the new word everyone's using, with the very gorgeous Megan Fox. So, if you don't know what a synastry chart is, it's basically when you get two people's birth charts. So, for example, you could get your birth chart with your partner's birth chart, and you layer them together on top of each other to have a look at what aspects they make to one another and how your planets interact with each other. And it can show you your relationship, whether you're a good match, whether you're if there's marriage on the cards, or if you are already married, like what sort of relationship you will have, your strengths, your weaknesses, how you work as a couple. It's great if you're dating as well for prospective partners. I do this quite a lot with my friends, looking at potential lovers' birth charts as to whether it's worth getting involved with their fuck shit, or what fuck shit they bring into your life and what you're going to do to theirs. So it's a really good tool to have. It's really fun, and I thought I'd show you how it works. Obviously, if you haven't seen one before. So yeah, the Machine Gun Kelly Colson is now seeing Megan Fox, and they've described it as like love at first sight. Like they've known each other all their lives. This really passionate, intense connection, etc., etc. There's loads of passionate public displays of affection. They feel like they've known each other their whole lives. All that good shit. So, let's have a look. So, the birth time sources are correct. Megan Fox it's her birth certificate, which she posted online. And Machine Gun Kelly's chart, it's Colson's chart. She actually gave the birth details on a podcast, which tells me that they are very much into astrology, spirituality, intuition. You can see that over here anyway, because they both have the planet of communication, Mercury, in the 12th house. And the 12th house is all to do with communication, how you speak, what you talk about. And they have it in the 12th house, the hidden house. So yeah, they have very spiritual connection, deep connection. They probably stay up late. They're both into indulging in the finer things. So they'll be up late, smoking weed, do whatever the fuck they want to do to escape. 12 hours of escapism. And Taurus as well. Taurus is all about having a good time. So they probably kick back, smoke whatever they're smoking. I know Colson likes to take acid and reach high dimensions and go into deep conversations. She may indulge in that also. Whatever it is, they definitely have a really good communication with this conjunction of Mercury in the 12th house. So it tells me that they're very much into spirituality. They have sun conjunctions as well. They're both in the same sun sign, which obviously bodes really well. I'll get deeper into that into a second, because it really helps to know where your sun is and where your partner's sun is as well, and where it sits. It's not amazing that his sun is behind hers. In traditional astrology, it wants to be the other way around. Her sun should be behind his sun for it to be a better match. However, they have so much synastry going on, like loads of past life shit, loads of karmic shit as well. So they've definitely known each other in a past life, which is why they felt like this instant connection straight away. So when you look at the karmic points in someone's chart, you have the north node over here, which is that red squiggly thing, which is that. So yeah, so before I go on, the inner circle is Colson, Machine Gun Kelly, and the outer circle, the red planets, are Megan's. So you can see how they interact with one another. So her north node, so her life purpose, her soul purpose is in alignment with his sun. So that tells you straight away that this connection they had, they're meant to meet each other on this lifetime. It's part of their life plan, their soul plan. When they incarnated on this planet, at one point in their life, they would meet up in this lifetime and do whatever lesson it is that they have to do. So wherever your north node falls, the exact opposite is your south node, which is your past life. It doesn't show you one here, but you always look bang opposite. So there's Megan's there. If you go opposite, it's right over here in his 6th house. The 6th house is all to do with karma. So her past life is embroiled in his karmic destiny. So whether they have some karmic debt, I mean, it is in Scorpio, so I'm guessing it probably wasn't amazing karma that they've got together in the past, where there might have been a lot of pain, betrayal, hurt. There could be some sexual stuff going on. There could have been like an illicit affair they had in the past lifetime and they couldn't be together or something like that. Because Scorpio is very much about hidden shit, and especially in the sixth house as well. So it could have been like that they could have been like enslaved together or something. So the sixth house also with enslavement and bondage and being tied together through lifetimes. Her MC, so her public persona, falls into his sixth house as well. So it's like when he first saw her, you got this Pluto conjunction here. Pluto is generational anyway, but his Pluto will fall on her south node. So Pluto, the planet of obsession, of like bondage, of like I need to have that, I can't live without it, would have been triggered as soon as they locked eyes with each other, or as soon as they'd met each other anyway, you know what I mean? It would have been like they'd known each other for lifetimes. It's like they would have locked eyes and there would have been these like flashbacks of like lifetimes ago, and they both would have felt that actually. And so, while we're talking about North Node, South Node shit, his North Node's over here in the ninth house of Aquarius. So, bang opposite. I mean, she doesn't really have any planets. However, her ascendant, which is over here, in Placidus, she has quite a big Aquarian ascendant. So, her ascendant is her one of her most important aspects. It's the first thing that people notice about you is your ascendant. So, her ascendant, her being, her face, her body, her embodiment is in conjunction with his North Node. So his sole purpose was to meet her too. So they're both in alignment here. And the reason why it's happening right now is because he's now going through his Saturn return. Saturn is now in Capricorn. And this happens to everybody when they reach about 27, 28, 29, where Saturn will come back round to where you were when you were born to teach some fucking life lessons. His is in the 8th house, however. So again, this is all to do with karma, to do with sex, to do with sexuality, but it's also to do with marriage and commitment. So I wouldn't be surprised if they did get married or there's talk of marriage, because he'll have a Saturn conjunction. So when you have a Saturn conjunction in your chart, which only happens every 28 years, it's a very pivotal time for you where there's massive life changes, there's endings, there's beginnings, there's like lessons and blessings. So yeah, her ascendant falls on his 8th house as well. So they'll have an amazing sex life. They'll have this connection of like bondage almost, where they might even be kinky as fuck, you know, which wouldn't surprise them. I mean, he's a rock star. She's very scorpionic in her look. So yeah, I mean, they've got loads of 12th house shit going on, 8th house shit going on. 8th and 12th house, all to do with sex, getting laid, you know, all that good shit. It's in Capricorn, Saturn's there already, so I feel like he might like being restrained himself, because he has this Venus and Mars in Pisces, which is a bit of a pissy, weak Mars, where he can be very submissive. And I think she's very dominant with having this, she's got Mars in Capricorn, which is exalted, so she's very powerful, very sexual, and it conjuncts his Saturn, so she might even like to tie him up and whip his ass, and he fucking loves that shit, because he has that Mars in Pisces. He's like very submissive anyway to her. So back onto the North Node. His North Node's here in the 9th house in Aquarius. So like I said to you before, the South Node is your past life karma. So then their future life karma, which is here, it meets up with her ascendant, which is in Placidus. In whole sign you can't see it, but in Placidus she has an ascendant in Aquarius as well. It intercepts if you want to get geeky. So his South Node conjuncts her moon. So, what degree is it? 13 degrees. And her moon is... Oh my God. Her moon is 15 fucking degrees. So their past life karma is conjunct by 2 degrees. So this would mean that she would have been in a relationship with him in a past life 100%. For more than many lifetimes. And this falls in the house of the 3rd house as well. So there may have even been... in a family unit, when you have past life with somebody, it doesn't always mean that you're in a relationship, like a lover's relationship. It can mean that you're siblings, which sounds really weird when you think about it. But it could mean that you were mum and dad, or you could have been uncles and aunties. But this falls into the siblings' house. So it might have been that one of their incarnations together, because they've had many, because this 6th and 12th house energy is that They could have been siblings or just very, very friendly with one another. But they've definitely got some sexual chemistry going on with this double Pluto MC conjunction. Like I was saying, Megan Fox is very gorgeous. She looks very scorpionic. She has that jet black hair. She's not conventional looking. She's very kind of alluring. And that's very, very indicative of scorpionic energy. However, her MC does fall in his sixth house. This is the house of undoing as well. So as much as they are in love with each other, she can know how to ruin him as well at the same time. They have that kind of intense passion where they can't live with each other without each other. He has that anyway in his own chart because he has the sun, which is over here in the 12th, opposing his natal Pluto. So he has this obsession anyway, or he'll have this kind of thing where people become obsessed with him. And I know he has a very strong fan base anyway, especially a female fan base, which is why he has Venus in the 10th house. The 10th house is to do with career. And he's very attractive. I went to him in concert. I think he's fucking gorgeous. Personally, anyway, I think he's fucking 10 out of 10. He ticks all my boxes anyway, because he has, why is that? Because I'm Libra rising and I love everybody. Let's just say that. Anyway, back to them two. So what was I talking about? Oh my God, I'm getting all flustered thinking about Machine Gun Kelly now. Oh yeah, so the Sun and Pluto, he has this obsessiveness in his chart anyway. People become obsessed with him, and so with others as well. So Venus in the 10th, he does attract a lot of female attention as well. Also, it means that he's been linked to a lot of celebrity women as well. But she has, interestingly, Pluto trining her moon. Pluto square. Let's have a look. Pluto squaring her moon, so she also attracts this attention where people become obsessed with her also as well, and obsessive relationships. And because their Pluto's conjunct and his sun triggers the whole chart off, this can trigger off aspects in the other person's chart where certain people and relationships can trigger you. It's like, when you've been with someone who brings out the worst in you. It can be when you have Pluto aspects going on, but other people's Plutos and harsh aspects may not trigger yours. I've been with partners personally in my relationships where I've got Pluto square Venus in my chart, and I've had partners whose planets have touched my Pluto Venus and set off this kind of obsessive, volatile relationships where other partners don't touch those planets, so it hasn't affected it in that respect, plays out differently. And so her Jupiter will fall on his Venus as well, so it's fair to say that, I obviously am a fan of his, he's quite big in America, but her Jupiter, the planet of good luck, good fortune, expansion, falls in his career house. So it will kind of make him a lot more famous as well, because she's a household name. She's more known than he is, I think it's fair to say. So this is brilliant for him in his career, but that's not why they're together. They have some really cool synastry, like her Venus. So if your partner's Venus, so her Venus is in Gemini, if her Venus falls in his first house, so he thinks that she is like absolutely gorgeous, you know what I mean, and vice versa as well. Her Venus falls in his 10th, his first house, so she thinks he's hella beautiful too. His Venus conjuncts the Jupiter in the 10th as well. So again, they've got this very mutual attraction where their Venus is kind of square, which isn't bad. It's not a bad thing. It just means that there can be challenges, but also lots of making up as well, and kind of be like almost like opposite attract almost, or there comes a lot of sexual energy and sexual tension as well. They have a Mars sextile as well, so they have amazing sex. They could even have there might even be intense sex outdoors, like 10th house placement. I wouldn't be surprised with a sex type linked to something like that as well. So his Venus sextiles her Mars. So again, very sexual. I'd say she definitely wears a trousers in this relationship. His Mars is in Pisces, so it's a bit of a weak Mars. But this helps him with his career as well, because obviously he's a rapper. He has Gemini ascendant. A lot of people who are good at rapping or have it as a career have quite a lot of strong Gemini placements. He has a sun and Mercury in the 12th house. I see a lot of celebrities with 12th house, especially film stars and singers with 12th house suns as well. And his sun is in the 12th house. The 12th house rules singing. The ruler of his sun is in the 10th house. Again, the 10th house is career and publicity and public spotlight, which is what he does. So he's born to do what he's doing. And again, same with Megan as well. She has a sun in Taurus, so it makes her hella beautiful. It is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, it's in the 5th house for her. So this makes it like she becomes famous through her skills and her talents. A lot of people with the sun in the 5th house are known to be celebrity and famous because the 5th house rules Leo, is ruled by Leo. Leo is all about celebrity and being famous and being seen. She has a Leo moon, for God's sake, as well, so she's born to do what she does. So her moon would fall into the 5th, 6th, 7th, into the 8th house as well. So she's very, her moon, even though it's very Leo and she's all about being seen, it's a scorpionic moon. She looks very Scorpio with the dark hair. She's very, she has that scorpionic look about her where she's like very inviting and sexual, and she's seen as a sex object, and the 8th house does rule sex and intimacy, and she's seen as one of the most beautiful women in the world, but not like conventional, like, you know, like a housewife sort of marriage kind of, you know. She's very much like the mistress type look about her. I mean, I think she's fabulous, personally. So, what else do I have going on? So, yeah, her Venus falls in his 1st house. So when your partner's Venus falls into your 1st house, it can make you have hella attraction towards one another. Which is always a great indicator for good relationships as well. Her Saturn, so Saturn is like longevity, long-term plans. It's all about future goals, long-term achievements. Falls into the 7th house of relationships. So when if your partner's Saturn falls in your 7th house, this is a fantastic sort of signal aspect for marriage as well. And her Uranus falls in the 7th house, so it could have been like he said, that he wasn't expected to meet someone like this and fall in love and then want to get married. And I feel like there's been talk about marriage here already. And having that Uranus fall in the 7th house, it's like it could be like a quick shock sort of like wedding, which I think is on the cards. Her Saturn falls into his 7th. He has Saturn in the 8th house. Her Mars and Ascendant falls on his Saturn in the house of marriage as well. So I wouldn't be surprised if this happened. I mean, he's having a Saturn return, so he could be getting married. Anyway, to her, will it last? Who knows? I mean, they have got a lot of karmic issues going on here with the 12th house synastry. So when you have a karmic soulmate kind of lover, it's not always like, you know, happily ever after. They're usually incarnated to teach each other a lesson. She does have Chiron, the planet of pain, her your deepest wounds, in conjunction with his ascendant. And let's just have a look at her Chiron is actually 2 degrees away from his ascendant. So she can literally cause him so much pain as well as love. Like she'd know how to really hurt him. But she can also, this doesn't just mean pain, because Chiron is the wounded healer. This is also about healing. So she could also heal him where he could be very insecure within himself because the ruler of his 1st house, his body, his looks, is in the 12th house over here. So I think a lot of his songs, he deals with insecurity of himself as well, and internal pain and hatred and self-loathing. So she would be able to soothe and heal that just as much as she could destroy him too. So there is that aspect to think about as well when it comes to long-term partnerships. What else? What else should we say about them too? Yeah, I mean, a great conversation with that Mercury going on, talking about some deep shit. They've got amazing 8th house synastry. I mean, that Mars is the planet of sex in the 8th house. His Mars would fall into, let's have a look, into her 3rd house, which again is more like a friend aspect. So it's not like amazing Mars for him, but I feel like because he has that Venus in Pisces, he's very romantic anyway. And he has the moon in Pisces too, so he's very spiritual. His moon will sextile her Mars, her ascendant. So they'll be like kind of understanding towards one another. They kind of get each other. They're really harmonious with their feelings. They feel safe talking to one another. It's kind of like it'll make them be really good friends as well as lovers too, having that kind of 3rd house energy, because a lot of his 3rd house planets, a lot of his personal planets like his moon, his Mars, his Venus falls into that 3rd house for her. So she'll feel like really at home with him, kind of on a really friendship level with him. But yeah, having that North Node his North Node falling into her 1st and 2nd house, They really will add value to one another as a couple when it comes to making money. They'll really help each other's careers as well. And this will be a very public couple where a lot of public interest because that Aquarian energy, the MC in Aquarius. I mean, they both have a lot of heavy Aquarian energy. He has the MC in Aquarius. Her ascendant falls into Aquarius as well, and they're both very unique couple. You know, he is covered in tattoos. She's got a scorpion look about her. They're very unconventional looking, and that's very indicative of Aquarius when it comes to your looks. So you can look a bit unusual, shall we say? And I mean, I think they both look fantastic together. I think they look great. So yeah, I just wanted to go over the chart, go over some like little tidbits of synastry and how love and relationships work with one another. So I hope you enjoyed that. If you see anything else in the chart, so I've literally just pulled it up and done a quick overview of it. Drop it in the comments, any sort of things that you notice as well. I hope you enjoyed it. Give it a like, give it a subscribe and a share. And if you want me to look at your synastry chart too, just drop me a message on my Instagram or hit me up on YouTube, and I'll see you in my next video.